ഉണ്ട് 14 ആയ.
Good evening, friends. Myself, Dr. Divyashree. I hereby welcome every participant to a wonderful webinar organized by AIHSAYA, All India Homeopathic Students and Youth Association, in association with Samragee Homoeopathic Clinic. I welcome today's speaker, Dr. Shakeel Saudagar sir, and all participants, all doctors and students, to this wonderful webinar series. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I Dr. Sharadchandra welcomes you all. All India Homeopathic Students and Youth Association Maharashtra branch. All India Homeopathic Students and Youth Association is one of the largest association in homeopathic students and youth of our country. This association plays a great role in upliftment of the youth and young homeopaths to take the responsibility on their shoulders. This is the association of the students for the students and by the students. The aim of this association is to work selflessly for the upliftment of ailing humanity. We believe on the phrase united we stand and divine we fall. So this is the right time for all the young pets across the country to come together and work for the betterment of the nation, to make India the most powerful nation by devoting their time and work in right direction for the nation. We organize free health camps, free seminars, free webinars, blood donation camps, and we also developed our own library which we give to the students who are not able to afford books. Aisha family conduct own 9 OPDs at remote village areas. We also promote scientific and research-oriented mind of the youth by publishing their articles or presentations or any kind of literature which is of the value for the homeopathic fraternity and for the humanity in our magazine called Homeo Vision. We believe in the importance of the time, so our motto is to awake, arise, and work before it's too late, because aim says I am always in motion. Our thoughts are our actions, so we believe in having a positive mindset to believe ourselves for rising above the mass for achieving higher purposes of our existence. Thank you.
Hello, myself Orko Mukherjee, and I am a part of AIHSAYA West Bengal branch. And so, before starting our program, I would like to bring up Dr. Katali Lavanya Sai, ma'am, to give some introduction about our collaborator in Samragee Homoeopathic Clinic. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello guys, today I was here to give you a small introduction about the Samragee Homoeopathic Clinic. So homeopathy is an best system of based on the theory of treating like cures like. Homeopathy claims to stimulate healing responses to diseases by administering substances that mimic the symptoms of those diseases in healthy people. To provide the treatment of this wonderful system, Dr. Vibha Mevada, who is a budding and enthusiastic homeopath, and started Samragee Homoeopathic Clinic on 4th February 2018 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. So Dr. Vibha Mevada did BHMS from Nashik University in 2015 and did CCS Certified Course in Advanced Homeopathy and MCS Master Course in Advanced Homeopathy, which are short-term PG course from the most prestigious institute, the Other Song International Academy of Advanced Homeopathy, Mumbai in 2016. And ma'am is a certified yoga instructor, scholar by Yoga Certified Board, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. Dr. Vibha Mevada has been trained under renowned homeopaths like Dr. Rajan Shankaran sir, Dr. Dinesh Chauhan sir, and Dr. Gaurav Gaikwad sir, and many more, and took many other national and international webinars, and her articles and cases are published in many prestigious platforms of homeopathy like National Journal of Homeopathy, homeopathy.com, etc. By following the footsteps of father of homeopathy, Dr. Henneman, rare diseases are also being treated at Samragee Homoeopathic Clinic. The main intent of Samragee Homoeopathic Clinic is to serve people. Several health camps, medical camps, free yoga and aerobics workshops has been conducted at the clinic as a benefaction to people. There is no denying that the talk that they do read here the best to assure the satisfying result leading to a lifeline to better health. Thank you.
So now let's bring up on screen the founder of Samragee Homoeopathic Clinic, Dr. Vibha Mevada ma'am, to give the introduction of our today's speaker. Over to you, Vibha ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Rocco. So, good evening, all of you. As we all know, our today's speaker is Dr. Shakeel Saudagar, sir. So, sir is a MD homeopath, and recently, sir at Shri Sharadchandra Pawar Homeopathic Medical College, Shrirampur, District Ahmed, Nagar, Maharashtra. Sir is the principal of that college recently, and sir have a long experience of a professional experience, that is the 33 years, and teaching experience of long 28 years. Sir is a PG guide and a PG teacher, and approved, which is approved by CCH and MUHS of subject in homeopathic materia medica. Sir is a ex-member board of studies, PG.Allied, Maharashtra University of Health Science. So this is in short about the professional intro of sir. But if I told about my personal experience with sir, so I'm a student of sir since my first year of my college life. And what I experience is a teacher have a capability uh, to I can say to generate a good homeopath for the next generation. So he sir is playing that role in my life actually. uh, if I say what I am today, so I can say a big role of sir is there, a big support of sir is there to establish me in my career. I remember very well. I just want to say, I just taking 1 minute of for you all only to narrate a small story of mine. How Sir helps me in start my practice actually. So this is the story of when I was in a final year. So sir is the first person who encouraged me to take first case of my life. So and sir provide a first patient of my life to me. So and sir, if that time sir doesn't encouraged me to take individually case and start my practice, I don't think I can do that much what I'm doing in very short period of my in my practice actually. I just start practicing 2.5 year back. So I can say uh, we can say ki in shlokas we read that gurus are this, gurus are that. So for me, that guru is sir who started, and I think who searched my capability somewhere. For that, even I am not aware about my capability that time, and sir can search that thing and encourage me to do something. And I can just say that no word to say thank you to sir. So just blessed to have today on this platform to inspire other students for their good career and to become a good homeopath. So thank you so much for accepting my invitation out of your so much busy schedule. Thank you so much, sir.
So thank you now, and so we are ready to start our today's program. Now it's time. Though to all the viewers, I know कि थोड़ा video इधर उधर हुआ था. This video and audio were different, so please pardon me and my team for that. So without wasting any more time, let's just bring up our today's speaker, Dr. Shakeel Saudagar, sir. Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. First
Over
of
to you,
all,
sir.
I should be thankful to the team who is in front of me. Especially, I am very much thankful to Vibha and what she told about me in the introduction. Actually, she deserved to be given this post, and she is having that much capability to hold the responsibilities, and now she is doing very well. And I am very much happy to see all of you working so hard for the sake of homeopathy. And my blessings will be always be there. Keep it up and go ahead with the same spirit. Thank you very much. Now should I proceed?
Yes, sir. You can proceed now, sir. Sir, if you want to share your screen, sir, I am there to help you, sir.
Pardon?
Sir, if you, sir, you just share your screen, sir. If you want to show your
Yeah, yeah.
PPT to all our audience.
Hmm. Okay, sure.
Yes, got it. Just open your PPT, sir. Yeah, sir. On full means just open your PPT on slideshow, sir.
Yeah.
Um, Sir, just
Hello.
open your PPT on slideshow, sir. Just open your PPT on slideshow, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir,
Hello, all of you. Now I'll
sir,
proceed.
excuse me, sir. Sir, there is a problem, sir. I
Hmm.
think you didn't turn on your slideshow, sir. You didn't turn on your slideshow. Just click on the slideshow button that is in your right side of your screen, sir. Just below the PPT. Yes, sir.
Below the PPT. Below the
Yes, sir.
PPT.
It's now okay, sir. Sir, over to you, sir.
Got it, na?
Yes, sir. Over to you, sir. Now.
Okay. Now I'll proceed and let me clear the fact that although the topic is core of drug Staphisagria with comparison, I'll be very much focusing Staphisagria personality. This is my way of dealing with any remedy in the class or in any of the seminars. I used to focus on the personality portrait of any drug. While focusing of the personality portrait of that particular drug, I used to compare with the other drug which has got some similar mental symptoms along with some comparison or along with some different point. So it becomes very easy to compare the personality, because I believe unless and until you come to know regarding the personality of the drug and the personality of the person sitting before you as a patient, you won't be able to come to a conclusion as far as the semi-minimum is concerned. So that's why I do focus on the personality portrait always, especially in cases of a polycrest drug, which is full of mental symptoms. So highlighting the personality portrait of Staphisagria will be my main motto, and with the same point, I'll proceed, and I'll see to that you all will be well aware of the each and every corner of Staphisagria personality, and you will be able to compare it with some other drugs also. Now, these are the very initial things. We doesn't need to get to have any explanation. The common name Staph Sacre, family is Ranunculaceae, brewer is Dr. Hahnemann. And see, it's an ancient medicine employed from the time of Hippocrates, and previously it was used as cathartic and emetic. I know. I hope that you will be having knowing the meaning of cathartic and emetic. According to Kernel, it can be used as a purgative. As far as part used is concerned, the remedy is prepared from the seed of the plant, which is very much poisonous in nature. One of the most important causation as far as Staphysagree is concerned is anger with indignation. Indignation means when the person when the person is self-respect is at its stake, when he is under some sort of humiliation, when there is a feeling of being insulted, so he goes into the state of indignation, and here this remedy is in combination with the anger. But the most important thing that the anger is not expressed. It's a very vital remedy for suppressed anger. Dr. Chatterjee, Dr. Dhanam N.M. Chaudhary has mentioned it very clearly in his writing that okay, the more he thinks, the more he suffers. So anger with indignation, and that too suppressed anger, it is the core of this remedy. Another important symptom which is not reflected on the screen is that there is a great indignation. There is great indignation regarding the things done by himself or by others, grieves over consequences. I'll repeat it twice because if you can understand the core of this symptom, you will be able to understand the personality of Staphisagria. The symptom is that there is great indignation regarding the things done by himself or by others, grieves about consequences. Please pay attention to this symptom. If you could understand the exact meaning of this symptom, I am very much sure that you will be able to understand Staphysagrия personality. So just remember this symptom. I'll just break this symptom into different component so that it will be easy for you to understand. Great indignation. Dr. Kent has used the word great indignation because normally anyone can get disturbed due to indignation when he is being anybody who is being insulted will feel will be affected by it and he will get disturbed. But here the meaning of this symptom is great indignation. It means that he is so much sensitive about the minor feelings. He is so much sensitive about his feeling that even if he is not insulted, but he'll feel that he has been insulted. He is being insulted, and the condition becomes worse. Means where the situation where someone should not feel insulted. Suppose if anybody has a law attempt, suppose he has committed error in speaking a word, in pronouncing a particular spelling of the word, and he sees the faces smiling, so he should have taken in a light mode, but being Staphisagria, he will take it very seriously and continuously he will grumble about it. Why the person has given a smile because of the smallest mistake committed by me. Actually, he should have not gone into indignation. He should have not gone feel ashamed about it. But being Staphisagria, it will be too much for him. He will think on it, he will look at him, he will feel the anger from inside, but that anger will be totally suppressed and he will not express it, but he will be totally disturbed about it. That's why it is said that the more he thinks, the more he suffers. And he is very much concerned about his self-esteem. He is very much concerned about his dignity. It is mentioned that he is too dignified to fight. He is too dignified to fight. It means that he feels bad about it. He feels bad about it. He feels insulted about it. But in the response, he doesn't exposes the anger because he think that I have got disturbed due to the behavior of this person. If I'll react it in return, I'll be insulted more and the condition will become more worse. That's why let us not react. Let us not react and let us suppress the anger so that at least I could save my self-respect. I could save my dignity. And that's why he remain calm. He doesn't express it, but the disturbances, the turmoil will be going on from inside. So that's why it is mentioned great indignation regarding the things done by himself or by others. Now the question is that we can understand he'll be feeling indignation, he'll be feeling being insulted by the behavior of others, but how he can feel, he can have the same feeling committed by himself, because it is mentioned in the same term, great indignation regarding the things done by others or done by himself. It means that suppose no one else is responsible for his insulting situation, he himself has committed some error, some mistake, himself has committed some wrongdoing, and that's why he is facing the situation or he is being insulted. Suppose knowingly or unknowingly, if someone commits some mistake or uses some sentences which he should have not been used, and then he repents on it and he feels ashamed about it, and he feels being insulted, and then he curses himself. He doesn't blames others, he blames oneself, himself only, for the mistake committed by him, and the condition becomes worse. And he continuously repeats, why I have done it, why I have done is these fooling things, if I would have not done it, I would have not gone into this situation, and he feels ashamed about it. So, dear friends, when there is feeling of being insulted with feeling of being ashamed about it, I repeat, when there is a feeling of being insulted with feeling of being ashamed about it, that is called as mortification. That is called as mortification. So, Staphisagria is a very vital remedy for anger with indignation as well as mortification. To always remember this, when the mistake committed by himself, and as a result of that mistake he repents for it, he feels being insulted and he feels ashamed about it. So it means that he has gone into the state of mortification. I think you might have understood the exact meaning of this symptom, because our teachers used to say at that while you study any symptom, any remedy, when you are going through the symptom, when you are going through the symptoms, you should be in a position to read between the lines. To read between the lines, this is a very vital symptom which needs some explanation. Reading between the lines means you should try to understand the exact meaning of the symptom before you, and then you should be able to correlate it with the symptom next to it, and you try to understand a core of that particular symptom so that the concept will be clear. And I always say to my students and my friend that while studying a drug, you should be able to correlate the mental symptoms with the physical symptoms. Suppose you are reading, if you are going through, you are studying a polycrest, a constitutional drug, and if you have applied this funda, correlating the mental symptom with the physical symptoms of the same remedy, you will be quite comfortable to understand the basic concept of the remedy. And once you have got the basic concept of the remedy, it will be easy for you to understand the personality portrait. And understanding the personality portrait of a drug is very vital to find a simillimum. What I believe, I hope it is clear to you. Okay, if you want to understand the personality of Staphisagria, you must be in a position to understand the exact meaning of these symptoms. That is great indignation regarding the things done by himself or by others, and grieves over consequences. Grieves about consequences is the second part of this symptom. First part of the symptom is great indignation regarding the things done by himself or by others, and the next part is the second part of the symptom is grieves about consequences. What will happen? This situation is before me. I have gone through this situation. Now, what will be the feeling of others? What will be the reactions of others? What others will be thinking about me? So, for example, if it is a case of a student who is attending the lecture along with his classmate, and suppose teacher asks any question to this fellow who belongs to Staphisagria, suppose he could not answer properly, suppose he utter wrong answer in the reply, suppose in the reply, if other students they had a laugh because of his foolish answer, so he'll just look at him and the matter will be over. And the teacher will proceed. He'll say, no, you are not correct. The correct answer is such and such. Please sit down. Although he'll sit down, but his mind will be continuously focusing about the situation. Okay, I couldn't answer properly, and in response, my friends had a laugh on me. The lecture will be over, the class will be over, all will be at their home, but he'll not be comfortable. He'll be continuously thinking about it. Why they laughed about me? Why I had committed the mistake? Because of my wrong answer, they had a smile. But they should have not laughed at me. Why they have laughed? They could have also committed the same mistake, but I would have not been laughed at them if I would have been there in place. Why they had laughed at me? What will be my situation? What will be my position? What will be the image it will be created in the mind of the teacher? He'll be continuously thinking about it and he'll get restless. And he may become speechless also because of these thoughts of being insulted. Because of these thoughts of him is being insulted, and he may become speechless and he may become sleepless. I'll share you an incident when I was serving an institute as a professor, and one of my colleague, when he was dealing with the lecture, so during question and answer session, he had asked the question to a lady student, and she could not answer. In that reply, in that response, she was scolded by the teacher in a light mode, but he scolded her. The lecture was over. The lady, the student who was hostilite, the condition had become worse, and according to the observation or explanation of her roommate, she was totally disturbed and she could not sleep at least till midnight. She was continuously crying and repeating the sentences, why sir has shouted at me, why he had scolded me, even though I could not answer it properly, but he would have not scolded me in this manner. My friends were laughing at me. Now how I can face my friends in tomorrow's lecture? Now it's totally over for me. Now I'm not worth of being the student of this class. Continuously she was repeating the sentence, and the condition was very worse and she was not able to sleep. Ultimately, one of her friend called to the authority, the rector, that she is totally restless and she is not able to sleep and she is continuously crying. She had not enjoyed the dinner also. Ultimately, the matter was taken into consideration and somehow she could manage to become cool and calm. And the next day, this topic was discussed among the teachers. And we can say that the lady being highly sensitive, highly emotional, and he felt it as an unmerited insult. That the screen is before you, just remember the causation. One of the most important cause is due to unmerited insults. It was an superb example of Staphisagria, and the same night 2 to 3 doses of Staffy was given to that lady on the same night, every after 15 minutes, and she could calm and she could go to the sleep comfortably. My dear friends, what I mean to say is that whenever there is a person who feels being insulted, even if the situation doesn't demands, the situation is not that severe that he should be feeling insulted, but he goes into pieces, or she goes into pieces, she becomes restless, she continuously utter this sentence, why it had happened to me, why he has used that sentence, and all these things. Dear students, uh, to highlight this condition, unmerited insult or reserved displeasure or great indignation or mortification, especially mortification, I would like to narrate a scenario. I would like to tell you a scenario of a movie. I have given. I have stopped seeing the movies now, but there were the days where I used to enjoy the movies. When I still remember a scenario which which beautifully highlights Staphisagria by that particular character, and I'll be very much happy to explain the scene of that particular movie to highlight Staphisagria in a better manner. That was a scenario of a movie where the hero of that particular movie, he played a role of an superintendent of police, and he approached to the den of the Don. He approached to the den of the Don, and that role of the Don and the villain was played by one of the most one of the most famous villain, or one of the great actor of the industry, who is no more, and the name of that actor is Amresh Puri. So in that movie, Amresh Puri had played the role of the Don, and the role of the hero was played by Ajay Devgan. I don't remember the name of the movie. I just remembered this scenario, and I used to explain in the class to my students to highlight Staphisagria in a better manner. So, as per the instruction from the authority, the superintendent of the police, the hero, along with his men, along with his team, approached to the den of the Don, the villain, Amresh Puri. He had a handcuff in his hand and an arrest warrant. He had an arrest warrant with an handcuff, hatkadi. As soon as he approached to the Don, he just stood in front of him along with his men. And Amresh Puri, the villain, was surrounded by his people. Not near, it was nearly, it was a case of nearly 30 to 40 people he was surrounding. And the SP, the police, our hero, he just stood in front of him. He looked into the eyes of Amresh Puri and put handcuff before him with an arrest warrant. Continuously looking into his eyes, he just uttered one sentence: कि you are under arrest. Amresh Puri looked at him. He was continuously looking at him. Rather, both were looking at each other. Then Amresh Puri turned his face and he looked to his men, his companion. They were also looking at him. He looked at them, then looked at Ajay Devgan, and he then accompanied him. And the scenario was there, he was walking with the hero, the superintendent of police, and on both the side, his men and the villagers, the people of that area were standing. and they were looking, and they were, you can say, present at that particular scenario. He was looking at them. He was looking at the superintendent of police, and he was walking with heads down without uttering a single dialogue. He reached to the police station along with the police team, and he was set free after 10 minutes. He got a bail. He went back to his den, and again he was surrounded by the people. He was walking here and there with sheer unrest, and he was continuously using one sentence: he was looking at me, he was looking at me, वो मुझे देख रहा था. He was smiling at me. He had a smile on his face. वो मुझे देख रहा था, वो मुस्कुरा रहा था. He was looking at me. He was smiling at me. He was continuously repeating the same sentence, and he was walking in a sheer unrest position. And nobody had dared to console him because he had played the role of a furious character. Nobody would have dared to look into his eyes. All were looking at him with heads down, looking at him, then heads down. Nobody was able to console him, and he was continuously repeating one sentence: he was looking at me. He was looking at me. He had a smile. He had a smile. He was looking at me. And the scene was over. Dear friends, just remember, there was not a fight, there was not a exchange of hot words, there was not any aggression, nobody had attacked each other, but it was sufficient enough for that character played by Amresh Puri to feel insulted, feeling of being insulted, feeling of being indignation, and feeling of being mortification. He thought my position has was down to the earth. I was totally flat in front of my people, and the villagers, those who were under my control, those who they had never thought of this position, now they have witnessed it. Now what will be my position in front of them? What will be my feeling when I look at them? What will be the thoughts, what will be thinking in their mind when they will remember this scenario, and they will think that ke, ab aaya hai oot pahad ke niche. Now they will think that ke, now our dawn, the owner or the boss of this area was had surrendered before an ordinary office personnel. What will be their feeling? What will be my position? Whether I will be in a position to look into their eyes or not? Now just imagine, the situation has not arisen. He is thinking about the future. Okay, what will happen? What will be the consequences? Now he is thinking about the consequences. What will be my image? What will be my feel? What will be my position? What will be my, you can say, the authority in front of these people, these laymen, my companion? Whether I'll be able to retain the same power or not? Actually, actually, to be really honest, nothing could have been happened. They would have been saluting him in the same manner. They would have been behaving like a slave in front of him as they used to do. But he was not satisfied. He was continuously thinking about it. And definitely, definitely, he would have not gone into sleep also. He would have been speechless after that. He would have been sleepless after that. He would have gone into burning micturition. There might have been you can say the incontinence of urine. There might be burning in the urinary bladder. 100%. We could have imagined the situation, because at that time, as far as that scenario is concerned, he had played the role of Staphisagria. He had played the role of Staphisagria. So Staffy is this type of individual who creates the insulting, who imagines insulting, who imagine that I am being insulted, who imagine that I am being insulted. That's why it is mentioned by so many authors unmerited insults, or it is explained by Dr. N.M. Chaudhary in his writing under the heading of Staphisagria. The more he thinks, the more he suffers, and it is a good remedy for suppressed anger. The more he suppresses the anger, the more condition becomes worse. Now the position is that why, when he is so much angry inside, why he doesn't exposes? Because it is said now, the more you will expose your anger, the more you will be relaxed. But it is not with Staphisagria. He think that although I am in a state of anger, but suppose I am being insulted, but suppose if I will react, if I will expose, so the consequences will be that I will be more insulted. I will be more in a state of indignation. He thinks. Say, for example, suppose two friends are riding on their bike and suddenly they are stopped by a constable and they were told to show the license and other documents and they are not having it. So ultimately, the policeman will scold them. Suppose the person who is riding the vehicle, if he belongs to Staphisagria, what will be his feeling? Okay, this fellow should not insult me. This fellow should not scold me. I'll prefer to give the money he demands, but I don't want to be insulted by him. So he may say, "Ke Sahab, you can punish me in the form of money, but don't scold me. Don't use harsh word to me. I am ready to pay you, but I cannot ready to feel to suffer in this situation. You tell me what you want. I am ready to pay you. But please don't use these harsh words. I have committed a mistake. I do agree, but I don't want to be insulted by anyone, even not by you." So he is the person who is ready to sacrifice his money, but he at no cost he can afford to be insulted. Otherwise, in most of the cases, if that fellow would have been belonging to any remedy other than Staphisagria, he would have pleaded before him. He would have entreated before him. He would have beseeched before him. He would have requested, "Ke Saab, you can scold me, you can slap me, you have the right to insult me, but please don't punish me. I am ready to face your scolding word. I'm ready. I'll tolerate your cursing. You have the right to beat me also, but please don't ask for money. Don't punish me. Don't I don't want to be punished in this manner. You can beat me, you can slap me, you can insult me because you're elder, you're officer. I'll tolerate it wholeheartedly. But it is not with Staphisagria. Staphisagria, suppose if he is a servant, if he is serving as a waiter, and if he is scolded by the owner, he'll say, "Okay, Seth, if you are not happy with me, if you have committed mistake, you can fine me, you can charge me, or you can deduct 1 day salary, but don't scold me." The fellow, poor fellow, he's not enjoying the good salary, but being Staphisagria, he'll say, "Okay, no, you cannot. Please don't scold me." He'll use the word please because he's talking to the employer, he's talking to the owner, he's talking to the boss. He'll say, "Okay, please sir, don't scold at me. You can deduct 1 day salary. I'm ready for that, but please don't use this word." So he can afford to lose 1 day salary, but he cannot afford to be insulted in this way. There are so many examples which can be cited to highlight the Staphisagria personality. I used to explain to my students What is my way of dealing with any remedy or highlighting any this? I used to label some of the remedies. That label could be in the Hindi language or in Marathi language or English language. Here, in case of Staphisagria, I used to say to my students, okay, if you want to label the Staphisagria with one sentence, you can use this Hindi sentence कि सहा भी ना जाए कुछ कहा भी ना जाए. I'll repeat the word. Sorry for the students from other states, especially the South Indians, if they are not in a position to, if they are not comfortable with this Hindi word, I'll explain it in English also. कि I used to label Staphysagria कि सहा भी ना जाए कुछ कहा भी ना जाए. Means he cannot tolerate it and he cannot react it. He cannot tolerate it, neither he can tolerate it, nor he can react it. It is not with Merxol, it is not with nitric acid, it is not with lacasis. उनके बारे में for them I used to say this word कि सहा भी ना जाए चुप रहा भी ना जाए. They cannot tolerate and they cannot remain cool. They will utter, they will react. They cannot tolerate and they cannot suppress it also. So Staphysagria, saha bhi na jaye, kuch kaha bhi na jaye means he cannot want to be insulted, but if he goes into an insulting phase, he doesn't want to express it also. Because what he thinks, if I am being insulted by this fellow, if I'll react, he will attack me more and I'll be more insulted. So let us keep quiet, let us tolerate, and let us tolerate and let us go ahead. Don't react. The more I'll react, the more I'll be insulted. So it is called as reserved displeasure on unmerited insult, as a result of this reserved displeasure or unmerited insult. And another causation is that one of the most important, the condition becomes worse due to sexual excess. It is said that he continuously dwells on sexual matters. He continuously dwells on sexual matters. If you want to understand the exact meaning of this sentence, dwells on sexual thoughts and sexual matters, and all the mental symptoms, most of the mental symptoms will emerge due to this condition, dwelling on sexual matters. What does it mean? Yes, students and my friends, let me clear this point that the exact meaning of dwelling on sexual thought is that he is so much image conscious, or he is so much, you can say, dignified about his image, and he is so much sensitive about his performance. In this condition also, if he belongs to Staphysagria, if the male belongs to Staphysagria, he'll be very much concerned about this. Okay, I should not be lower down before my life partner. My image should not be hampered before my life partner, and I should be able to perform at any cost. I should not leave a single corner where my image is hampered, where my image is spoiled in front of my partner, my better half. And that's why he'll try his level best to be up to the mark, along with all the feelings. So naturally, when these type of feelings will be there, when he'll be afraid of losing his image, so definitely it may result that it may land into failure. So fear of being failure, fear of being image which may be spoiled, it will affect his mind so much that he cannot go to sleep and he cannot perform as per the mark, and then he lands up into impotency. It's a good remedy for impotency in male, and most of the symptoms where the causation is due to abuse of this act or sexual excesses, or because of it results into loss of vital fluid and he lands up into a permanent impotency. Sometimes it may be a temporary one, but if you go into the core of a case who has come to you for his weakness, and if you probe into the case, you will come to know that okay, he is physically fit, but he is so much sensitive about his image that okay, because of the fear, because of that scared condition, he, even though he is fully fit, but he lands into failure. I hope some of the concept might have been clear to you. Another causation is a good remedy for post-surgical operations or mechanical injuries from sharp cutting instruments. My dear friends, as I told you that if you want to understand the personality of any of the drug, you should be in a position to correlate the mental symptoms with the physical symptoms of the same remedy. Here, post-surgical operations, it is totally physical in nature. Or mechanical injuries from sharp cutting instruments, it is also purely physical symptom. But as far as my funda is concerned, I tell you, I used to tell to my student that you when you are going through a physical symptom, you should try your level best to correlate with the mental symptom of the remedy. And if you succeeded enough, if you fare enough to correlate the mental symptom with the physical symptom of the remedy, you will be in a position to understand the remedy well. Here, it is a good remedy for bad effects of sharp cutting instruments or incise wounds. It is a good remedy for bad effects of incise wound. Now the question is that suppose you want to go for operation, if you want to go for, if the surgery is planned, so he'll not be having the fear of death. He will not be having the failure of operation. Fear of death may not be found in this case as in case of arsenic. He will not be afraid about the pain he will have during the procedure. He will not be fearful about the pain as in case of lycopodium. Neither he will be having fear of death, nor he will be having the fear of suffering from painful condition, but he will be having the fear that okay, that instrument will cut my skin, it will cut my parts of body, and my body will be disfigured, my body will be disfigured. And what will happen when the instrument will be used on my part, delicate part of my body, and it will be disfigured, how I will tolerate, how I will tolerate. That's why, suppose if a lady, when she has to go under operation, and if she belongs to Staphisagria, when she'll think about that, okay, there will be the instrument, there will be the scissors, there will be the scalpel, and there will be all the other instrument, and it will be used on my body. My bodies will be cut into pieces. So how I will be in a position to tolerate it? The more he thinks, the more she gets disturbed, and it will result into high rise of blood pressure. She may become hypertensive, and in some of the cases, the surgeon might postpone the surgery because of the condition becomes worse. When you inquire, she'll be continuously repeating, I am not having fear of death, I am not having fear of the pain which I'll get. But what will happen when these instruments will be used to cut my body? And I cannot tolerate it. That's why my condition becomes worse. In that condition, if she becomes hypertensive, if the condition becomes worse because of this feeling, the only answer will be Staphisagria. The only answer will be Staphisagria. Once again, I'll repeat. Now, as far as the constitution and physiognomy is concerned, it is suited to those who are affected by suppressed anger and reserved displeasure. And patient is usually a young, weak, and debilitated individual with guilt and abased look. With guilt and abased look. Now here I'll explain. Suppose if you are sitting in your OPD, you are a young homeopath, and the moment a person seeks the permission to enter your cabin, he want to seek the treatment from you. When you are looking at him, I'll just now I'm sitting. Otherwise, I used to mimic uh, I used to play the role of Staphisagria patient. How we will knock the door, and how we will ask for the permission, and how what will be his gesture, what will be his posture, and what will be his words. Now it is I don't find it suitable to act, but I'll tell you the moment he will seek for the permission, he will ask you to get in a very polite and humble manner. He'll ask you, "Okay, Dr. Sahib, may I come in?" And he'll be very polite, very gentle, very down earthed. And when he, after getting the permission, he will just stand before the chair. And again, he will ask, "May I sit, sir?" And if you say yes, then he'll sit on the chair and he'll say, "Sir, thank you very much." As if you have obliged him. "Thank you very much, sir." And he will try to be in a to pose the image of very decent person. But one thing is very sure, he'll not be looking into your eyes. The eyes will be down, and the words will be very sweet, very soothing words will be there, but he will not, there will be no eye to eye contact. There will be no eye to eye contact. And suppose if he is having some weakness, if he is a case of a male, suppose if he has some guilt in his mind, suppose he is suffering some disease, the disease might not be very much severe in nature, but he'll feel that, okay, how can I expose myself, how I will utter my symptoms, how I will explain my sufferings, what will be my image in front of this doctor. It might be a case of a burning micturition, but he'll think that, okay, when I'll say, okay, Dr. Sahib, I am suffering from burning micturition, I feel a pain while passing the urine, what will be my image in front of this doctor? What will think about it? Why this fellow is suffering from it? He might have committed some sin. He might have committed some wrong act. He might have. It might be an history of exposure and other things, so that he'll take a pause. He will not look into the eyes of the physician, and on continuous you can say encouraged by the doctor, he will explain his complaints, but with the expression of guilt and a based look. That's why it is mentioned that patient is usually a young, weak, and debilitated individual with guilt and abased look. It is not with a person belonging to Medorinum. It is not with a person belonging to Lycopodium or Phosphorus. They will be totally comfortable, and without any hesitation they will explain their problem. It might be more severe in nature than this fellow, but the condition will not be that worse as compared to Staphisagria. He think a lot, and he thinks insult. He think that he'll be insulted, his image will be spoiled. That's why the expression will be totally with guilt and abased look. I think you might have understood some of the content of this. Now I'll come. Time doesn't permit me. I'll come to the characteristic mental symptom, that is psychology. As I told you, great indignation about the things done by himself or by others, grieves over or grieves about consequences. What will happen? Today I was not able to answer the question of my teacher in the class. People had looked about me. When again tomorrow I will be in the same class, same teacher will be there, then what will be his image about me? He'll look at me and he'll remember yesterday he couldn't answer me. So even my classmate will be look now again, if he'll be questioned, let us see whether he'll be able to answer it. Actually nothing will happen. Even the teacher would have not remembered it, the classmate would have not remembered. He will grieve. He will continuously thought, okay, what will happen when tomorrow at the same time I'll face the same teacher and same students? What will be my position? Second is aroused to anger, but seldom irascible. He is very much sensitive to the least impressions, and he goes into the fit of anger also, but this anger is not expressed, because he thinks that, okay, if he'll express my anger, Again he'll be more insulted, and again it will be a severe case of indignation, and he'll suffer a lot. The more he thinks, the more he suffers. Ailment from reserved displeasure, ill effects of after scolding or punishment in children. As far as staph is concerned, you may come across with three types of children: sweet Staphisagria, or mild Staphisagria, and violent Staphisagria. Time doesn't permit, but usually if it is a case of a sweet Staphisagria, don't think that he is very sweet, he is very polite, and he is very courageous, and he can tolerate a lot. No, 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 dear, you are mistaken. Why he is showing his image like a sweet Staphisagria? Because he think that if I'll be very much sweet, if I'll be very polite, he will be treated very in a proper manner, and he will not be insulted by anyone. That's why he'll try to play the role of a sweet person, a sweet personality. The more he thinks, the more he suffers. I have explained it. And dwells on sexual matters. The person becomes speechless from suppressed indignation. He is too dignified to fight. He is too dignified to fight. Even harmless words offense. It is mentioned in Allen's keynote, too dignified to fight. Harmless words offense, becomes sick at home. Dr. Kent has, in his book, Lectures on Materia.Medica, under Staphisagria, has mentioned that one fellow, when during the traveling he had a quarrel with the another passenger, there was an exchange of some hot words. He could not utter a single word. He turned his back when he went home, and when came to his chamber, his condition was totally worse. He was not able to speak a word. His eyes were bleed, and he was continuously trembling, not able to speak a single word, not able to stand properly. The body was in a state of, he was totally, the limbs were trembling, and the condition was quite worse. After some time, he explained that he could not gone to the sleep for whole night. What was the reason? There was a quarrel between himself and another fellow, and the condition is bad. Dr. Kent treated that fellow with 1 or 2 doses of Staphisagria, and he was totally all right. So this is the personality of Staphisagria. He is totally apathetic. Indifference, I don't care. Indifference is also there in phosphorus. It is there also there in sepia. The difference is that they are not that much image conscious, and they are not so much though so much sensitive or emotional. They are not so much dignified about it as compared to Staphisagria. Dr. Rajan Shankaran is in his, and once upon I had gone through his explanation. He had mentioned in one of the substance of the remedy, or the soul of remedy, if I am not wrong. He has mentioned that he is bond with the universe. He has a bond. He is bonded with the universe as far as his image is concerned. He is image bonded. He has tied, or he has bonded with the universe as far as his image or his uh, feelings are concerned. Weak memory due to sexual abuse. Child cries for many things. Child cries for many things, but throws it away when offered. That is called as capriciousness. That is called as capriciousness. Child will demand for so many things. When the parents will try to manage it, but he will not accept it, and he will reject it. He will throw it away. No, I don't want this. And usually he has demanded it in the beginning, but now he'll say that no, I don't like, this is not the thing what I want. So demanding the things and rejecting when it is offered, it is called as capriciousness. One of the most important remedy for capriciousness is chamomilla, senna, bryannia alba, and creosote. When I talk about chamomilla, chamomilla is my remedy number one for the beginners. When I start dealing with the lecture to second year, I used to start with chamomilla, And capriciousness I used to highlight in a more precious manner, because chamomilla is an ideal example for capriciousness. Here the difference between chamomilla and Staphisagria is that chamomilla usually it is preeminently a child remedy, and as a result of this capriciousness, the anger, when anger becomes its speech, to its peak, he goes into convulsions. It may not be the case with Staphisagria. Staphisagria is a good remedy for adults also and for children also. And the other things which differ from chamomilla, I don't want to go in detail because time doesn't permit. One of the most important symptom is sensation of a round ball in the forehead, sitting firmly, even doesn't move even after vigorous shaking. This is also a very vital symptom to highlight the Staphysagree personality. The symptom is that the sensation of a round ball which is fixed in the forehead, and it is not moved even after vigorous shaking of the head. If you try to understand, if you try to read between the lines, you will come to know that, you just imagine sensation of a round ball, and he imagines that something has stuck to my mind. It means that if he has been insulted, somebody has passed any comment regarding his personality, it will stuck into his mind, and he will continuously go on remembering it. He will be continuously remembering it, and he's thinking about it, why he has used this sentence, why he has taunted like this, why he has passed the comment like this. No, 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 I'm not going to forget it, and I'm not going to forgive him also. He cannot forget it, and he cannot forgive it, but he cannot react it, and continuously think about it as if that particular comment, that particular dialogue has settled into his mind. And even if he is, the friends will tell, the family members will tell, "Ki, ho gaya na, now leave it, forget it, forget it, you just divert your mind." Even he will try to follow their instruction also, but he will not be successful. It is mentioned a sensation of a round ball in the forehead sitting firmly, doesn't move even after vigorous shaking of the head. It means that that dialogue, that sentence has hurt him in a more severe manner. Even if he tries to remove it, he doesn't succeed enough, and continuously think, just I told you, he was looking at me, he was smiling, he was looking at me, the same thing, that why he had called me like this, why he had addressed me with this dialogue. Now it is not good, I will not forget it, I will not forgive him, but he will not be revengeful, because he think that, okay, if I'll discuss this matter once again, the more the other people will come to know, okay, what was the sentence, what was the comment. The people, those who are not knowing now, they will come to know by tomorrow if I'll make it an issue. So he doesn't want to make it an issue, he'll just keep quiet, but he will not be comfortable. This is the meaning of this sentence. Intense craving for tobacco, want of self control, afraid of his shadow. Afraid of his shadow means he is so sensitive, he is so image bound, he is so much suffers from the least impression. The time come that he doesn't have faith on anyone. He is afraid of his own shadow. जिसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं, मुझे अपने साये से भी डर लगता है. मतलब इन द पर्सन इज टोटली helpless, or hopeless rather I should say. When the person is totally hopeless and he leaves all the expectation and all the hope from the dearest and nearest one also, then he goes into in this condition, and he think that I cannot believe, I cannot rely upon even my shadow also. So complaints, another important symptom, that complaints come upon pent up wrath, which causes irritation of bladder with frequent urging. Pent up wrath, pent means the which is subdued, subdued wrath means which is suppressed, wrath means the anger, that jwalamukhi, the fire which is there in his side, and he doesn't want to express it, that is called as pent up wrath. Another important symptom is bad effects of onanism. You know the meaning of onanism, masturbation. Bad effects of onanism causing weakness, depression, and low spirited feelings. Hypochondriasis. Imagines insult. My dear friends, remember this sentence. He imagines insults. He imagines insult. To imagine the insult means in actual sense the insult is not occurred. In actual sense the insult is not occurred, but he think that he is being insulted and he becomes upset. So that's why the sentence is. Now you can imagine how much sensitivity is there in Staphisagria. Imagining the insults and getting the condition becomes worse and worse. Very sensitive to least impression. Very much sensitive to least impression. Now I'll come with the physical generals. Relation with heat and cold, chilly patient, bad effects of injuries from sharp cutting instrument and post-surgical operations. I have explained it to you. Another important physical general, a very important thing, that it's a good remedy for styes and chalaise. Especially it is a good remedy for styes. You can try on a patient suffering from styes. If you could find one or two symptoms of Staphisagria, you can treat the case of sty quite comfortably with the help of few doses of Staphisagria, and you'll get the results. If you want to compare styes of Staffy or Staphisagria styes with pulsatilla, pulse is also a good remedy for styes, but the recurrences are more prominent in Staphisagria. Recurrences of styes are more prominent in Staphisagria as compared to pulsatilla. So styes and chalaise on upper eyelid, one after another, leaving hard nodosities in their wake. Yet, I'll just repeat sentence. The styes on upper eyelid, one after another, one after the means it will get healed, again it will come up. It will get healed, again it will come up, and every time it will be leaving hard nodosities in their wake. It means that when he suffer from, if you want to correlate this physical symptom with the mental symptom, you should be able to correlate in this manner that hard leaving hard nodosities in their wake, there are recurrences. It means that suppose if you are hurt by your friend, he is your friend, but he had passed some comment as a joke, as a fun, and he had taken it a light manner, but you being Staphisagria, you have not taken in that manner, you have taken it very seriously. Even he had apologized so many times, and he had been forgiven by you also, but every time when you will face the same situation, every time when you look at him, the situation is there, you will imagine on that particular day, on that particular day of that month, he had passed a comment on for me which I couldn't tolerate, and then he will try to forget it, but he will not be able to forget. The moment he will remember the situation, looking at that particular fellow, the things, the scenario will reflect into in his mind like a flashback, and it will come out. That's why it is mentioned styes on upper eyelid, one after another, leaving hard nodosities. मतलब जो बोलते हैं ना कि जबान का जख्म भर जाता है, तलवार का जख्म भर जाता है लेकिन जबान का जख्म नहीं भरता. Means the injury by a sword can be healed, but the mental injury caused by the tongue or by the wording is not healed, or it is delay in healing, or in Staphisagria it will be very much delay in healing, isn't it? Another important symptom, fever. In fever there is ravenous hunger for days before attack. Another important, it is a good remedy for toothache during menses. It's a good remedy for toothache during menses. Teeth are very painful to touch of food or drink, but not from biting or chewing. My dear friends, remember this sentence. It's a good remedy for toothache, especially during menses. But what is most important symptom? Pain is worse from touch or food, but not from biting or chewing. It means that although it is a physical symptom, but if you want to correlate it with the mental symptom, you'll be in a position to understand this in this way that ke teeth very painful to touch of food or drink, but not from biting or chewing. Means touching aggravates, chewing or biting pressure doesn't aggravate. What does it mean? If the person is scolded in a light manner, he may react it. He may look at the fellow with anger, but the more insulting sentences, he will become cool and calm and he will surrender. When the pressure is there, the pressure is applied, he will surrender, but for fear of being more insulted, so he will not react. But when it is just in the beginning. I have got a comment. Okay, please differentiate with colocynth. See, colic, colocynth is a good remedy for colic. Staphy is also there. It can be compared with colocynth. Colocynth is also the pain with indignation. It is also there when he is being insulted, or when there is he is under the mental affection. Only thing is that okay, when he suffers from colic, when he suffers from colic, he will feel better by pressure by or bending forward. In colocin, the pains will be better by pressure or by rubbing or bending forward along with the mental symptom. But we can think about colocin when the pain is there, the pressing type of pain, or when the person hold the abdomen and goes forward, that forward movement or the pressure, the pain will be better, and you, along with the mental symptoms will be responsible for pain in the colocynth. But the thing is that he will feel better by pressing it, and he'll feel better by bending double or bending forward. It is not with Staphisagria, because when he'll suffer from colic, not only the pain will be severe, but he'll be in a state of indignation. Because of the indignation, he'll suffer from pain, or because of the colic, because of the pain, he'll think that okay, what will be my position, what will be my feeling, how I can tolerate it, and the condition will become more worse, and he may not be in a position to utter his complaint, the colicky pain. So he may be speechless, or he may be sleepless. So insomniac condition due to the colic is not found in colocynth, which is very much found in Staphisagria. Suppose if we come across with the colic, and if you are stuck between colocynth and Staphisagria, Staphy is more sensitive than colocynth. Even the severity of the pain will be same in both the patient. Suppose if one belongs to colocynth, or another belongs to Staphisagria, the Staphisagria pain and the colocynth pain may be similar in intensity. But when you take the case, you'll come to know that he'll say that because of this pain, I couldn't go to the sleep, or I was totally speechless. I was not able to tell it to my parents or to my family members. Okay, what is going on me, and he'll be restless. But that by ammunition by bending forward will not be seen Staphisagria. Rather, he'll be more insomniac. He'll be more sleepless due to the pain, which is not found in colocynth. In that case, you can differentiate, or you can compare, and you can come to a conclusion regarding the similimum if you are stuck between these two remedies, and the mental symptoms will be help you. It will help you, because colocynth, he is very much sensitive also, mental symptoms are also very much there, but the severity is not at its peak. He is not that much sensitive to the insult as compared to Staphisagria. So here the concept will be very much clear. There is intense craving for tobacco, intolerable urging to urinate. Still, the patient has to wait for a long time to pass urine with burning maturation. Here also, it's a good remedy for intolerable urging to urinate. Still, the patient has to wait for a long time to pass urine with burning maturation. My dear friends, although this is a physical symptom, but if you want to correlate with the mental symptoms Staphisagria, here urging to urinate, intolerable urging to urinate means he want to pass the urine, which is not tolerable. On mental level, He want to express, but he cannot. He want to express, means passing the urine is expressing, and using the word or showing the anger is expressing. Here also expression is there, but in both the cases he cannot pass the urine, as he cannot express the feeling, and he has to wait for a long time to pass the urine. Here in this physicality there, or if you correlate with the mental symptom, it means that he will take his own time to tolerate the feeling and to have the patient, and then he will be comfortable, then he will utter. Here still the patient has to wait for a long time to pass the urine with burning in micturition. Here burning in micturition, here the unrest feeling in the mind, it can be correlated in the same manner. Spermatoria with sunken face and abased look, as I told you, emissions followed by weakness, backache, relaxation of sexual organs. Sleepy all the day, awake all the night with body ache, cough only daytime, decayed teeth on edges, cannot be kept clean, show dark streaks through them. The most important is burning in urethra when not urinating. Just pay your attention to the symptom burning in urethra when not urinating. It means that at the time of burning, when he is not urinating, burning will be there. It means that when it is not functioning, the problem is there. If you want to correlate with the mental symptom, burning in urethra, this is physical. When not urinating, it means that when he is not expressing, the condition is worse. When he will express, the condition will be diluted. But why it is not diluted? Because he is not expressing it. Here also burning in micturition when not urinating, means when he will urinate, burning will be less. When he will express, the feeling will be less. As he is not expressing, the feeling is more severe. As he is not passing the urine, burning is more severe. Collapse of bladder with urging and pain in prostatic troubles of old man, sensitiveness of sexual organs, vulva is so sensitive, can scarcely wear a napkin, useful to kill lice. It's a good remedy to destroy or to kill the lice. Colic after mental causes, chamomilla, colocynth. If you want to correlate with the chamomilla and colocynth, chamomilla is very much expressive, highly violent, very aggressive child, highly inflammable. I used to teach you I should say the word, the chamomilla baby is, जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना कि when some articles are being carried in transportation, they used to label के handle with care, handle with care. So chamomilla, it's very difficult for the parents to handle. That's why you can label chamomilla as the baby which should be handled with lot of care. Colocynth, a very good remedy for for colic and other mental symptoms, where the person feels better by bending forward or by pressing or rubbing the abdomen. Styes, as I told you, pulsatilla and graphitis. Pulsatilla with all politeness, with all gentleness, with all soberness, with all sweetness will be there. She might not be that much sensitive as Staphisagria. So recurrences will be more prominent in Staphisagria as compared to pulsatilla. Graphitis styes when it is accompanied with skin disorders, rough and dry skin. Effects of sexual abuse, platina, caladium. Very sorry because time doesn't permit me to, I couldn't manage the time. I'm very much sorry for it. I just had gone into the deep with some of the symptoms which I like to explain. Relation with stool smells like rotten egg in chamomilla. Again, comparison, it's a preeminently a child remedy, and it's a good remedy for diarrhea during dentition, which is not so found in Staphisagria. Paralysis by emotions, all the remedies are there. Throwing away things after event, that is capriciousness. Ravenous hunger, as I told you. Nodosities on eyelids after styes. Decaying of teeth is a good remedy for decaying of the teeth, where the teeth decay at edges, mesarium and Staphisagria, and in thuja, when the teeth decay at the roots. You can compare it there. General modalities, it's a good remedy. Aggravation, indignation, suppressed anger, vexation, quarrel, sexual excess, onanism, tobacco, coition, least touch on affected part, unmerited insults, at night, new moon, before full moon, and ambulation, warmth, rest, and breakfast. Uh, Sorry, I couldn't go for question answer session because I was told that the maximum time limit is up to 10. Even though if you have some query, you can ask me. Thank you very much. I am very much thankful to the audience, to my friends, especially I am very much thankful to the team who has invited me and have given me an opportunity to share the dice. Especially, I am very much thankful to my dear students Vibha and his team. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time and the great explanation of Staphisagria and surrounding remedies. And thank you so much uh, for explaining all the things in very detailed, and as you say, right between the lines, you explained like properly. So thank you so much for that, sir. Your presence is actually useful to all the audience. Even I just saw in my right hand side so many so many messages are there to appreciate this session. Actually, people are highly satisfied, and all are taking about the thankful to you to explain this Staphysagra in so
Thank
deep
you.
manner. So thank you so much, sir. And
Thank you.
uh, thank you so much for being here, and we are looking forward also to learn from you again and again on our platform. And I like to thank all the participants be there with us next 3 years also, as our webinar series is continued till 10th of the November. Tomorrow with us, Dr. Devendra Singh sir is there from the Canada, and he is going to talk about the keynote prescription. So be with us, stay tuned to learn more experiences of more experienced doctors on the platform. I'm thankful to all the team of Aisha, and on the behalf of all the team of Aisha, I thank to all the participants and sir for their presence on today's session. So on this note, we are going to end up today's session here. Thank you so much and good night.
Thank you.
Hello guys, there is a few questions regarding the filling the Google form. So our first video is done by Dr. Mevada, and Asia Foundation has been started on 31st October 2009. So if there are any questions, Alkananda Pege, you can ping in comment section. Thank you. Good night. This is Dr. SI signing off.